Chosen one, there is a season in life where God blesses you loudly in the spirit but quietly in the physical world. Many people around you will not understand the favor placed upon your life. God says your next level is not for public announcement. It is sacred, protected, and divinely prepared. The moment success begins to touch your hands, some will celebrate you while others will secretly compete with you. That is why heaven is warning you to move in silence. Your breakthrough is carrying a surprise so massive that even your enemies will be shocked when it finally appears. Stay humble, stay prayerful, and stay focused. God is preparing hidden doors, unexpected wealth, and uncommon opportunities that cannot be explained by human effort alone. Chosen one, God says there is strength in silence that most people will never understand. In a world where everyone feels the need to announce every blessing, every plan, and every small achievement, heaven is calling you to move differently. Your next season is not meant to be exposed too early. God is teaching you that silence is protection. Silence is wisdom. Silence is spiritual discipline. Many people lose their blessings because they peak too soon. They reveal dreams before those dreams have fully developed. They tell everyone about opportunities before the doors are secured. And when jealousy, negativity, and spiritual attacks begin to rise, they wonder why things suddenly become difficult. God says this is why He is training you to remain quiet in this season. Look at nature for a moment. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees the fruit. The greatest transformation happens in hidden places. A tree does not announce its growth every day. It simply stays rooted until the fruit appears naturally. In the same way, God says your blessing is growing in secret. What heaven is building inside your life does not need public attention right now. Chosen one, not everybody around you can handle the favor that is coming upon your life. Some people clap for you publicly but secretly compete with you privately. Some people ask questions not because they care, but because they want access to information they were never meant to carry. This is why discernment is important. God says stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. You do not have to explain every move you make. You do not have to announce every plan. You did. Not have to seek approval from people who were never assigned to your destiny. The less noise around your vision, the clearer you will hear God's voice. Silence also builds spiritual focus. When you stop talking about every future plan, you begin spending more time working, praying, and preparing. Some people talk so much about success that they never actually build it. But God says your season is different. Heaven wants your actions to speak louder than your words. Joseph made the mistake of revealing his dreams too early to people who were not spiritually mature enough to understand them. Instead of celebrating him, they became jealous. His own brothers turned against him because of what he shared openly. God says learn from that lesson. Every vision is not meant for every ear. There are blessings coming into your life that must remain hidden until the right moment. Your finances are changing. Your opportunities are expanding. Your connections are shifting. Your influence is growing. But heaven says do not rush to display what God is still preparing. Chosen one, there is danger in needing constant validation. When people depend too much on applause, they become vulnerable to manipulation. God says your confidence must come from Him, not from human opinions. Some people will misunderstand your silence and call you distant, secretive, or different. Let them misunderstand. Not everyone deserves access to your private journey. The enemy cannot easily attack what he cannot clearly see. This is why God is pulling you away from oversharing. Some battles are won quietly. Some victories are protected through wisdom and prayer. The enemy studies patterns, conversations, emotions, and weaknesses. But when you learn silence, you become spiritually harder to distract and spiritually harder to stop. God says your next level will shock people because they will not see it coming. While others are busy talking, you will be building. While others seek attention, you will be seeking God. While others chase popularity, you will be chasing purpose. And when the blessing finally appears, it will speak for itself. The house, the business, the breakthrough, the healing, the opportunity, the financial increase, and the elevation God is preparing for you will not need explanation. People will see the evidence of God's favor without you needing to announce it beforehand. So remain humble, remain prayerful, remain focused. Protect what heaven has placed in your spirit. Chosen one, God says silence is not empty. Silence is preparation for the massive surprise that is about to enter your life. Chosen one, God says the blessing coming into your life will happen in a way you never imagined. You have spent so much time worrying about how things would work out, wondering when your breakthrough would come, and questioning whether your prayers were truly being heard. But heaven says the delay was not punishment. The delay was preparation. There are seasons when God keeps chosen ones hidden because their future is too important to be rushed. You have been in a season of training, testing, and spiritual growth. While you thought nothing was happening, God was developing your character behind the scenes. He was teaching you patience when things moved slowly. He was teaching you faith when resources looked limited. He was teaching you endurance when life became difficult. Now God says the season is changing. Your wealth will not come only through hard labor. Yes, effort matters. Discipline matters, obedience matters, but there are moments when divine favor opens doors that human strength alone could never unlock. One phone call can change your life. One opportunity can erase years of struggle. One connection can position you for abundance beyond your expectations. Chosen one, people often underestimate the power of God's timing. They think success only happens through visible progress, but heaven works differently. Sometimes God allows you to struggle publicly while preparing your victory privately. Sometimes He keeps you in isolation while building opportunities that nobody around you can see. That is why you must stop comparing your journey to others. Some people appear successful for a moment but have no spiritual foundation. God says your blessing is being built to last. The wealth coming into your life will carry purpose, stability, and divine protection. The enemy wanted you to quit during your difficult season. He wanted frustration to destroy your confidence. He wanted disappointment to make you stop believing. But God says your survival through hard times already proved your strength. You kept praying when answers were delayed. You kept moving forward even when nobody supported you. You kept believing when everything around did you look uncertain. Now heaven says your reward is approaching. But God is also warning you about something important. When the financial breakthrough arrives, do not allow pride to enter your heart. Some people change the moment success touches their hands. They forget the pain that shaped them. They forget the God who carried them through dark seasons. They become arrogant because of temporary blessings. Chosen one, stay humble. God is not blessing you so you can become prideful. He is blessing you because your testimony will inspire others. Your breakthrough will become proof that faith still works. The wealth coming to you is bigger than personal comfort. It is connected to your purpose. It is connected to your family. It is connected to future generations. There are people in your bloodline who struggled financially for years. Cycles of lack, debt, and limitation follow generation after generation. But God says you are the one chosen to break those cycles. What your parents could not achieve, you will achieve. What your family thought was impossible, God will make possible through you. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. The battle was never just about you. It was about the future attached to your obedience. Chosen one, do not announce your blessings too quickly when they begin to appear. Some people become uncomfortable when they see others rising higher. Not everyone celebrating your struggle will celebrate your success. This is why God is teaching you wisdom and discernment. Move carefully. Stay prayerful. Continue seeking God even after the doors begin to open. Success without spiritual grounding becomes dangerous. But when God remains at the center of your life, your blessing becomes secure. The surprise coming into your life will happen suddenly. Opportunities you never expected will begin appearing. Financial increase will arrive from unexpected places. Favor will surround your name. People who overlooked you will suddenly recognize your value. And when it happens, remember this moment. Remember the nights you cried. Remember the seasons you struggled. Remember the prayers you whispered when nobody else believed in you. Because the same God who carried you through hardship is the same God preparing to elevate you now. Chosen one, your wealth is closer than you think, and heaven says the surprise will arrive at the perfect time. Chosen one. God says one of the greatest lessons you must learn in this season is that not everyone deserves access to your heart, your plans, your energy, or your next move. As your life begins to change, you will start noticing that some people were only comfortable with the version of you that struggled. They supported you when you were weak, confused, and uncertain, but the moment God begins elevating you, their attitude starts to shift. This is why discernment is necessary. Many chosen ones make the mistake of believing everyone around them has pure intentions. They assume every smile is genuine, every compliment is honest, and every friendship is loyal. But God says not every person walking beside you is a sign to your destiny. Some people are temporary lessons. Some are distractions. Some are tests sent to reveal whether you can protect what heaven has placed inside you. The blessing coming into your life is valuable, and valuable things require protection. You would not leave the doors of your house open for strangers to enter freely, so why allow unlimited access to your spirit? Why tell every person your private struggles, future plans, and personal dreams? God says wisdom means learning the difference between people who truly support your growth and people who only gather information. Some people ask questions because they care. Others ask questions because they are curious spectators. And some ask questions because they secretly compare themselves to you. This is why God says stop oversharing. Not every person deserves details about what heaven is doing in your life. Chosen one, your energy matters more than you realize. The people around you influence your thinking, your emotions, and even your spiritual focus. Negative people can drain your motivation. Jealous people can create confusion around your purpose. Manipulative people can delay your progress by distracting you from what truly matters. God says there are relationships you have already outgrown spiritually. The connection continues only because of history, habit, or guilt. But heaven says your next season requires separation from certain environments and certain people. You cannot carry everyone into the place God is taking you. Abraham had to separate from Lot before fully walking into God's promise. Joseph had to leave familiar environments before stepping into leadership. IP. Even Jesus separated himself from crowds to protect his spiritual strength. Separation is not always punishment. Sometimes separation is preparation. There are people who only knew the broken version of you. They became comfortable seeing you doubt yourself, struggle financially, or settle for less. But now God is transforming your mindset, your confidence, and your future. And not everybody will celebrate that transformation. Some people become uncomfortable when chosen ones begin recognizing their worth. God says stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Stop apologizing for growing. Stop feeling guilty because your vision has become bigger. You are not called to remain small so others can feel secure. However, God also warns you not to become bitter or hateful. Discernment does not mean treating everyone badly. It means using wisdom about who receives access to your personal world. You can love people without giving them control over your peace. Protect your mind in this season. Protect your focus. Protect your dreams. Not every battle requires your attention. Not every opinion deserves your response. Sometimes silence is the strongest form of wisdom. Chosen. 1. The enemy often uses familiar people to create distractions. He knows he cannot stop God's plan directly, so he tries to introduce confusion through relationships, drama, and emotional exhaustion. But God says you must remain spiritually alert. Pay attention to how people react when good things happen for you. Some people celebrate loudly in public but secretly resent your progress in private. Their jealousy appears through subtle negativity, sarcasm, competition, or lack of genuine support. God says do not ignore those signs. Your next level requires mature boundaries. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are necessary. You cannot pour into everyone while neglecting yourself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. The surprise God is preparing for you is too important to expose carelessly. Your future requires wisdom. Your calling requires protection. Your purpose requires focus. So walk carefully in this season. Pray before trusting people too quickly. Pray before revealing your plans. Pray before allowing someone deep access to your life. Because God says the higher He elevates you, the more important discernment becomes. Chosen one, not everyone deserves access to the person you are becoming. Chosen one, God says people are about to witness a side of your life they never expected to see. For a long time, your battles were hidden. Your pain was silent. Your tears fell in private places where nobody else could hear you cry. While others were laughing, celebrating, and living comfortably, you were fighting spiritual battles that almost broke you. But heaven says none of your suffering was wasted. Every lonely night carried purpose. Every disappointment carried a lesson. Every betrayal carried revelation. God saw the moments when you wanted to give up. He saw the frustration you hid behind your smile. He saw how many times you encouraged other people while secretly feeling exhausted yourself. And now God says the season of hidden pain is turning into a season of visible reward. Many people only see results, but they do not understand the process behind them. They see success but not sacrifice. They see victory but not warfare. They see confidence but not the years of insecurity you had to overcome. This is why some people will never fully understand your testimony. They did not witness the private battles heaven brought you through. Chosen. 1. There were moments when you felt abandoned. You prayed for answers but heard silence. You worked hard and still felt overlooked. You tried to remain faithful while watching others move ahead faster than you. At times it seemed unfair. At times it felt like God had forgotten you. But God says He was never absent. He was preparing you in secret. Just because heaven was silent did not mean heaven was inactive. Some of God's greatest work happens in hidden seasons where nothing appears to be changing. Like gold being refined in fire, you were being purified through pressure. God was removing pride, fear, insecurity, and distractions from your spirit. The pain had purpose. The delay had purpose. The struggle had purpose. There are blessings that only mature spirits can handle. If God had given you certain opportunities too early, you might not have been emotionally or spiritually ready to manage them. So instead of rushing your elevation, heaven focused on building your character first. Chosen one, this is why you cannot allow bitterness to grow inside you now. Some people hurt you deeply. Some betrayed your trust. Some walked away when you needed them most. But God says, do not let those experiences poison your future. What people meant for harm, heaven will use for growth. Your enemies unknowingly pushed you closer to God. Your rejection forced you to discover your true value. Your loneliness taught you how to depend on heaven instead of human validation. Now the reward season is approaching. The same people who ignored your potential will soon witness your elevation. The same doors that once rejected you will begin opening one after another. Opportunities that looked impossible will suddenly appear in your life. God says the favor coming upon you will not be explainable by human logic. People will ask how you recovered after everything you survived. They will wonder how you remained standing after all the attacks, disappointments, and delays. But your survival is proof of divine protection. Chosen one, do not forget where God brought you from when the blessings begin arriving. Stay humble in your elevation. Some people lose themselves after success enters their life. They become prideful because they forget the pain that once kept them dependent on God. But heaven says your testimony must remain pure. Remember the nights you cried alow. Remember the seasons when nobody supported you. Remember the moments when only God understood your struggle. Because the same God who comforted you in private is the same God preparing to reward you publicly. And understand this clearly. Your reward is not only financial. Yes, increase is coming. Opportunities are coming. Stability is coming. But God is also rewarding you with peace, wisdom, emotional healing, spiritual strength, and clarity about your purpose. Some people have money but no peace. Some have success but remain empty inside. But God says the blessing He is preparing for you will bring wholeness, not just temporary excitement. The battles you survived created strength inside you that could not have been developed any other way. So do not be ashamed of your scars. Do not hide your testimony. Your story will inspire people who are currently struggling the same way you once struggled. Chosen one. Heaven says your private battles are about to produce a public reward so powerful that even those who doubted you will recognize the hand of God upon your life. Chosen one. God says the season you are entering will leave people speechless. For years, many underestimated, hated you. They judged your life based on temporary struggles, current limitations, and painful seasons. They assumed your silence meant weakness. They thought your delays meant failure. Some even believed your dreams would never become reality. But heaven says they made the mistake of judging you before God finished writing your story. The surprise coming into your life is not ordinary. It is not small. It is not temporary. God says this blessing has been carefully prepared behind the scenes for a long time. While people overlooked you, heaven was positioning you. While others doubted you, God was strengthening you. While doors kept closing in front of you, Heaven was preparing a greater entrance that no human being could block. Chosen one, there are moments when God intentionally hides his people until the appointed time arrives. A seed remains underground before it breaks through the surface. During that hidden process, nobody sees the growth happening beneath. But suddenly, one day, the evidence becomes visible to everyone. That is exactly what is happening in your life now. Your growth has been hidden. Your preparation has been hidden. Your pain has been hidden. But our reward will become visible. People who ignored your voice will suddenly pay attention. People who doubted your potential will wonder how you rose so quickly. Some will call it luck. Some will call it coincidence. But you will know the truth. It was God. The enemy fought you hard because he sensed there was something unusual attached to your future. Ordinary people are not attacked the way chosen ones are attacked. The pressure you faced was proof that your destiny carried power. Every setback, every betrayal, every delay was part of a larger spiritual battle over your future. But God says the battle is turning in your favor now. You survived things that should have destroyed you. There were moments when your heart felt exhausted, moments when you questioned yourself, moments when you wondered if life would ever improve. Yet somehow, God kept carrying you forward even when your strength was low. That survival was not accidental. Heaven was preserving you for this moment. Chosen one, the surprise coming into your life will not only change your circumstances, it will change your mindset. You are stepping into a season where you will finally understand why certain doors had to close. Some opportunities failed because they were too small for the future God planned for you. Some relationships ended because they could not go where heaven was taking you. Some delays happened because the timing was not fully aligned yet. Now things are shifting. The same God who allowed you to experience hardship is now preparing restoration. Areas where you suffered loss will experience an increase. Areas where you experienced confusion will receive clarity. Areas where you felt weak will become sources of strength. God says there are blessings connected to your name that no person can steal. What heaven has assigned to you will eventually find you, no matter how delayed it seems. Your purpose cannot be cancelled by rejection, criticism, or temporary failure. This is why you must continue moving forward even when progress feels slow. Never let temporary darkness convince you that your future is empty. God often works most powerfully in seasons where nothing appears to be happening. Chosen one, remain humble while waiting for the surprise. Some people become impatient and try forcing doors open through fear and desperation. But heaven says your blessing does not need manipulation. What God has planned for you will arrive through divine timing. Stay faithful, stay disciplined, stay connected to God. Continue improving yourself quietly while heaven prepares your elevation publicly. The people around you may not understand why you suddenly became more private, more focused, and more spiritually aware. But God says your spirit already senses that something major is approaching. A financial breakthrough, a life-changing opportunity, a powerful connection, a sudden elevation, a restoration you never expected. The surprise will come at the perfect moment, and when it does, even the people who once underestimated you will recognize that God's hand has been upon your life the entire time. So do not lose hope during this final stage of preparation. The waiting season is ending. The hidden season is ending. The struggle season is ending. Chosen one, God says the surprise is closer than you realize, and the testimony that comes from your life will inspire people for years to come.